For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
The MP for V4 South speaks about his political future, and another politician says, be vigilant. Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. During the course of the program, your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And of course, Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. We trust you had yourself an enjoyable weekend. I imagine that for some it was not so enjoyable, primarily because we have had so many crashes and collisions on our roads. Information is at least one fatality as a result of one such incident. So, the responsibility is that of road users, whether you're a pedestrian, motorcyclist, etc., to ensure that we use the roads with a great degree of caution. There's also responsibility for law enforcement personnel as well. There is need for us to bring this under some level of control, to a manageable level. We're just having too many crashes and collisions. So, if you are fortunate enough, you might be injured. This comes at a cost to the state in terms of providing the requisite health care to facilitate your recovery, and also the loss of productivity. You want to be gainfully employed. You want to be in a position to take care of your family, contribute to the development of the country, as opposed to being incapacitated at hospital, or maybe you have to recover at home, or several months, several years. Let us ensure that we drive and ride with due care and caution. And let me insist, there's also a responsibility for our pedestrians. On the political front, Dr. Kenny Anthony has been the MP for Vieux South since 1997. And a lot was expected of the former St. Lucian leader. I will not pass judgment on the quality of the stewardship he has provided for close to 3 decades. It's not my place to do that right now in particular. I think you need deep analysis. You even need to speak with some constituents and people who maybe you can consider them to be impartial. They are neither supporters of the SLP or the UDLP. They are independent thinkers. You need to look at it from various perspectives, because I'm sure that while there are some individuals, particularly his political detractors, will tell you that the stewardship provided to the people of Vieux South has been less than admirable. There are other people who tell you that his performance was a stellar one. That is for us to review at some point in time, in particular when Dr. Kenny Anthony retires. And talking about his retirement, it seems imminent. It seems that Dr. Kenny Anthony will not be contesting the island's next general election, because it would be passing strange if, as a veteran politician, a former political leader of the SLP, he would be challenged for the candidacy of that constituency. I don't think that is possible. I don't think those individuals, I think about 3 or 4 individuals, stating an interest and giving the impression that they want to become the next SLP candidate for Vieux South, they would have embarked upon such an exercise if they were aware that Dr. Kenny Anthony still was interested in contesting the seat. Imagine, in deference to Dr. Kenny Anthony, no one would want to subject him to a challenge. But as he says, you have to expect anything in politics. That should not come as a surprise. He was speaking on the Radio 100 program That Makes Me Mad, or What Makes You Mad, and he was speaking about his political future as we're getting all set for the island's next general election, constitutionally due by the middle of 2026. I must apologize profusely for subjecting you to this atrocious audio quality. It does not happen very often on this program, but we're trying desperately to get it, adjusted, but to no avail. But in essence, what Dr. Kenny Anthony said is that there are a number of people who are interested to contest a seat on a St. Lucia Labour Party ticket. But he cannot commit, he cannot say anything just yet as to whether he'll be contesting the elections or not. He must first address this matter with his constituents, and he's hoping to do so during the course of this month. So we could gamble, take the risk, and say that Dr. Kenny Anthony, it appears, will not be contesting the upcoming general election. But we know that the United Workers' Party has already endorsed one candidate, and that individual participated in the party's convention yesterday, and she was presented to the members of the United Workers' Party who were in attendance. And her name is Liana Johannes Paul, better known as Lady Lee. And she will be doing battle for the United Workers' Party. Now remember, Dr. Kenny Anthony in the last general election won that seat by 1,563. So it's very likely that Liana Johannes Paul, better known as Lady Lee, currently a radio announcer at Hot FM, will be doing battle against somebody other than Dr. Kenny Anthony. So you have a number of people who have already expressed and displayed an interest in doing battle on the behalf of the St. Lucia Labour Party. The United Workers' Party would have also endorsed Laura Jean-Pierre for the Labry seat. Marcella Johnson, Gros Delay, and Kenson Casimir won that seat by 2,053 votes. Elisha Norbert, Miku North, contesting for the United Workers' Party, and his relative Jeremiah Norbert won the seat in the last general election by 552 votes. Bradley Fulgence of Dennery North, contesting that seat, of course, on behalf of the UWP, and the incumbent is Education Minister Sean Edward, who won by 281 votes. So things are really heating up as far as preparations for the upcoming general election. Let us hear from Laura Jean-Pierre of the United Workers' Party, contesting that seat come the next general election, and that is a stronghold of the St. Lucia Labour Party. I don't think Labry has ever voted for the United Workers' Party. And incidentally, in the last general election, the incumbent, Alva Romanes Baptiste, who is the island's minister with responsibility for external affairs, won that seat by 1,023 votes. But Laura Jean-Pierre says the illusion of progress ends tonight. That's as she was speaking last evening during the convention.
For years, we have been fed a dangerous, calculated lie. We have been told we are special, we are different, that somehow separates us from the rest of St. Lucia. We have been given fancy names, symbolic titles, the Republic of Labry Auger, as if words alone can substitute for real development, as if slogans can replace progress, as if calling us a republic makes up for the poverty, the stagnation, and the deliberate efforts to keep us ignorant and dependent. We are not beggars, but my people of Labry Auger, I ask you, what has this so-called republic truly given us? Have we seen better roads? Have we seen modern health care? Have we seen opportunities for our youth? Have we seen thriving businesses, empowered farmers, and supported fishermen? Or have we instead seen poverty used as a tool to control us? Have we seen a system that keeps us begging instead of building, wanting for handouts instead of creating our own destiny? Have we seen a deliberate effort to keep our people at heel, dependent, desperate, and too afraid to demand better? This is not a republic. This is not progress. It is a system designed to keep us dependent on them. A system where opportunity is not a right, but a privilege handed out to a chosen few.
You just heard there from the United Workers' Party endorsed candidate for Labry, Laura Jean-Pierre, speaking yesterday and addressing the convention of the UWP. We don't do that very often. We don't play Gade, Clairvoyant, etc. But it is very unlikely that she will win that Labry seat. I'm sure she'll disagree. Maybe she can call this afternoon and express her displeasure. But it certainly would be an arduous task. Again, Dr. Kenny Anthony says, never be surprised by whatever would happen in as far as politics is concerned. Let's open the line to take your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let me see if I have any of your messages to go through at this time. And we have to apologize because you've been sending so many WhatsApp messages. Unfortunately, we have not been able to read all of them. Let's take a call on the line. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
On the line, Timothy. Timothy, today I want to talk about roads, Timothy. I was listening to a clip where Mr. Stevenson King was referring to a northeastern corridor from Rodney Bay, Grosile to Denry, Timothy. And it will cost the country $2 billion, Timothy. What I'm saying to Stevenson King, he talks about the alleviation of traffic, the congestion of traffic. But one thing I believe that this government and many other governments fail to realize, that the Grosile-Castries Highway, Timothy, the money that can be diverted to the construction of this road, the northeastern corridor, before it is diverted to this road, it should be invested in the Grosile-Castries Highway. We should have a 4-lane highway from Castries to Grosile, and then we will be able to assess where the traffic congestion is. I wake up in the morning, I live in the North, Timothy. We all know where the traffic congestion is, in the Rodney Bay junction there, into the shopping mall area. We know by Marisil Glass area. We also know that the congestion is the SNS area. We know the areas and the VG roundabout. These are the areas with traffic congestion early in the morning. But the Stevenson King failed to realize that unless we don't construct a 4-lane highway from Shock roundabout to the Grosile town, that traffic congestion will be with us for a long time. We have heard the government talk about that northeastern corridor. Where are we going to get $2 billion? Stop coming and mama guide the people about $2 billion. Make it seem as if, you're thinking about getting an investor. This is not money well spent at this point in time for a northeastern corridor. We got to have that Rodney Bay Road development to continue by the St. Lucia Labour Party, or if not, when the United Workers' Party comes into office, they will finish that road. Stevenson King, please stop coming and mama guide the people and tell them about less cars in the island, less cars on the northeastern corridor. Stop telling them about all these things. It doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is a 4-lane highway from Castries to Gozuli. Let us see what the traffic is and the back roads. The smoothing of the back roads, better construction of the back roads, that would alleviate traffic from Castries to Gozuli. Timothy, I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. WhatsApp message. Somebody says, I just could not understand why Mr. Guy Joseph was prevented from parking on the field where all executive members of the Inadugas party were parked. The traffic was in a mess last evening. The police had the deputy leader to go and park all the way past the Old Lakai police station. That was not professional by the police. He didn't return, I believe. He continued driving back to his home. That's not good enough. Sometimes police have to use their discretion. I think eventually Mr. Guy Joseph made his way to the location where the convention took place because he actually addressed it. Another call on the landline. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
You tell me, Tim?
Yes, caller. Go ahead, please.
Tim, the problem I have again with the representative for Babono, people not seeing the woman. The man is doing nothing for Babono. Tim, I give you an invitation. Because when callers hear you calling, they think you calling and you lying just like the Labour Party does lie. This is the truth, Tim. Take a tour when you go into Debarra. Very nice place. And you have people going to see turtle watches in that part of the world. And the road, my God, it's bad, Tim. That is bad. Now, Tim, you know, Debarra is a place. It's very, 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 very hard to get transport to go to Debarra. When you see 5:30, 6 o'clock, this is it. In that time we live in, you're telling me a minister of government, when she wanted to be a minister in government, you could have gone to all the houses in Debarra to get the vote, but they never see you. They never see you. You never go and look at the condition of the road. Try to make it passable for the people. That means this is a minister that does not care. Now, I blaming the people in Debarra, you know, because there's a lot of young people, especially women. Look at what happened to the lady in Groinvier that lived behind 3 children under the age of 10. And not a word, not a word. And when they realize NewsSpin, the #1 station in the world, people are calling and putting pressure on the minister. Lately, they're trying to polish to make it look like they care about people. But this lady does not care. Because, Tim, we have a lot of young farmers in the Maki estate. And I remember very well, Tim, she said, the young people don't want to do farming. You know, and I gave her the invitation to wake up in her bed early, not 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, to go to the government offices to do the people's work. The farmers, Tim, from 4 o'clock, they're making their way to Maki Estate. And what hurting me even more, Tim, these young people, with all the rains over the past weeks, they take a beating. The beating means, Tim, when you put the plants in the soil, too much water, it dying. When you have cucumbers where you could harvest, you could harvest cucumbers for a whole 6 weeks. But sometimes just 1 week and too much rain, you lose all the cucumbers. You think this minister care about these people? And that is where all the green vegetables is coming from. She doesn't care. Look at the bogus road when you go into Maki. It's bad. It's bad. But I'm calling on the people of Babono to think of the children and children's future. Because this government, the St. Lucia Labour Party, have no vision. They have failed the country. Until on the weekend, look at what really happened. I don't even want to go in the details. They need to vote this woman out. Thank you very much, Tim.
All right. Thank you so much. Of course, the call is making reference to the Gender Affairs Minister, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot. She won the Babonneau seat in the last general election by 110 votes. And the casualty would have been the then incumbent Ezekiel Joseph. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, team. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. A few comments from the chat room. Someone says, too many crashes, you're making my insurance go up. Another comment, Kenny wants to run because he sees the leaks coming. Another comment reads, whatever happened in Micoud North can happen in Labry and 2VA4 too. Another comment, like the NewsSpin opening says, never be surprised by what happens in politics. Someone says there, by all means, they will want to be part of the racket so they can collect their own pound of flesh. Another comment reads, the team, keep your negative comments about my rep. Someone says here, I agree, team, beating Alva will not be easy. Someone says here, that's exactly what it is, because the people said they were voting for a gouvernement Maliwe, not realizing that the gouvernement Maliwe would serve and treat them like Maliwe, giving handouts, temporary employment, instead of creating permanent employment. Another comment, all you labor hacks, stop letting ignorance overpower your intelligence. That's why we cannot get anywhere. Someone says here, the struggle is real in St. Lucia. Those who want to cast a blind eye to the struggle are not thinking of others but themselves, even if it takes for them to cry in their closed closet, pretend all is well in public, and especially on social media.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. Some more coming up during the course of the broadcast. We have a call on the landline. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hi, Tim. Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Hi, Amanda. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, Tim. My son was a casualty of the bad roads just last weekend. We were traveling from the south. When we reached on the Badlil, there was a big hole on the road, but it was raining, so he couldn't really tell the depth of the hole. Instantly, he got a flat tire.
Wow.
And imagine, Tim, it was raining. So we had to get out of the vehicle in the rain to put on the spare tire. Right? And so then he had to purchase a brand new tire because the tire was not good anymore. So they need to fix the roads. They need to fix the potholes. So persons traveling on the Badly, there is a big hole, so you have to be careful. Team, we are still awaiting the minister's investigation into the briefcase. Remember, I think it must have been about 2 years now.
About that. You're quite persistent, I must say, because many of us have moved on.
No team, because the lady was just, I think last week or so, she was on TV advertising her business. I'm not saying that she's not supposed to have a business, but I felt at the time that she was overcharging the general public. It was $750 to obtain a passport, and that is way too much. So the minister needs to investigate and find out why it was so expensive and why a citizen was able to obtain passport where we, normal citizens, could not obtain it for ourselves. Okay? Also, the passport office continuing. They are still on schedule, I think, Tuesdays and Thursdays for collection, and Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for drop-off. Again, the reasons given at the time was that I think they were mold in the building, and they were short-staffed, but they have since relocated. So why is it that they're still on that schedule? They need to let us know. Also, it is about time that we St. Lucians get a passport for 10 years as opposed to 5 years. And it doesn't matter who's in government, whether it's red or yellow, we need to get a passport for 10 years, just like the other OECS islands. One other thing, Tim. The Minister of Tourism, or the previous one, they are all boasting about tourism. And how many of our young people are on the cruise ship? Tim, are you aware that the medicals to be done to get employment on those cruise ships cannot be done in St. Lucia.
No, for a while now, maybe close to a year. I think you have to travel where, to St. Vincent?
St. Vincent, Barbados, Grenada, all the other islands, except St. Lucia. So I'm saying St. Lucia, based on what they are saying, we have the largest economy among the OECS islands. So why is it that our young people have to travel to the other islands to obtain this medical and it's not available here in St. Lucia? I think somebody needs to answer, somebody needs to tell us why. Because I think it's grossly unfair that, our young people have to pay an airfare, pay hotel accommodation, pay doctors when they get there to do their various tests, and they pay another doctor to verify. I think this can be done here, and they can save a lot of money. And also, some doctors here can also get that money instead of, taking it overseas. So somebody would need to explain why this is not available here. And Tim, I have a lot more to say, but that's my contribution for today.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. Have a great Monday. Okay. All right, let's see if we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin on the air. Hello.
Yes. Good day, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon. Finally, since last week, I don't know, somebody may have taken my magic potion away from me.
Well, that's a complaint coming from so many people, because so many people are trying to get the line, both the landline and the WhatsApp. Go ahead, please.
Yes, so last week I heard the thing about the police charging people blacklisting. One of the things I know that is being taught at the police training school is that there are minor offenses that you as a police officer can use your discretion upon. So there are offenses that you must arrest and charge immediately. There are offenses that you can use your discretion on. For example, you get somebody packed or whatever the case may be in a vehicle somewhere, like the example that was being used. The law gives you the latitude, Tim, to use your discretion in that case and to decide whether you're going to charge or not. Because there are excuses that are really legit and there are excuses that does not make sense. So you as the officer is trained to be able to at least use your discretion and see whether that excuse is one that makes sense. And if
but sometimes the ability to use their discretion, that would certainly be as a result of experience on the job, because people tend to be very inflexible when they just enter a particular profession in a few weeks or a few months. So that is why in days of yore, what would happen is that the new recruits would be working with senior police officers, would guide them, literally hold their hands and guide them along the way. But that's not what we're seeing right now. I mean, we've seen sometimes three of the new recruits, green individuals, all on the same beat.
Everybody that comes into the force is an adult. You become an officer at adult age. And I am telling you, one of the things that have been trained, that have been taught to these people are discretion. You have to use your discretion for also customer service team. You know that customer service is being taught there to a certain level, because they've been taught that the public is your customer. And so it is not every case that you have to come with force. Okay? A lot of the cases, you have to approach the person at a level that, is moderate, because you will also get some of those persons that could help you in your cases team. But the moment you approach them in a way that is harsh, immediately you lost every opportunity, to get that person to assist you in a case, maybe.
To win their confidence and their support.
Right. And so I am telling you, I am not a police officer team, but I've done the basic in the police training course 3 times. And I can tell you, this is one of the things that is being taught to the officers, and it's been taught in depth. I mean, it's not like I did it in basic. You understand? Yet still, when they go out there, they just choose to ignore what they've been taught. And the instructors will tell you that they don't understand why when these recruits go out, it's like they forget everything that was taught to them. You know, so that is a problem we have. It's a people problem and not necessarily a police force problem. You understand? Because they've been taught different. But if I want to just say some other thing there quickly. I am from Mikud South. And I would like to, well, we are preparing a statement, but I need the Speaker of the House of Parliament, to understand something. That we, the people of Mikud South, voted for Alan Chasney because we wanted him to represent us. When you choose to put the mic off on our district rep, what you are doing, by extension, you are seeking to silence us in Mikud South. And so we would like that practice to cease. We would like, if the rep is breaking the law in any way in the House, there are procedures to follow. Okay? And what happened in the House is one, in my little years on this earth, I know is not procedure. Okay? It is not lawful if there's a law to say that it is. Okay? And I personally, as a Mikud South constituent, I would like to take that chance and to ask the Speaker to resign. Because, like Guy Joseph said, since when that is your role, how it is you that have to go and look for documents and to clarify, situations. That is not your role. We voted for Alan and we would like to hear him as the rules of the House say that members should be heard in silence. Okay, you can make your noise in the background, but his mic has to stay on because we, the people of Mikud South, need to hear our rep. We sent him there so that he could represent us, and we would like this to be done. So please, Mr. Speaker, we would like to put you on notice, okay, that you allow our rep to bring out his point and represent us as we have asked him to. Thank you, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. And things are just going to continue to heat up in the House of Assembly, particularly as both political parties are preparing for the island's general election. Now, I believe that in the final analysis, the voters will have to make a determination. I'm sure that they've been monitoring what has been taking place both inside the House as well as outside. On that basis, they'll have to make a determination as to who are the individuals they want to represent them in the island's parliament, and going forward to the extent that a determination will also have to be made whose party can you elect to make the proper decisions and the proper appointments. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, sorry, I just had to turn off.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good
to you.
afternoon. I just had to turn off my radio there for a little while.
That's okay.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim,
yes,
and good afternoon to the listeners and also to Amanda.
Good afternoon to you.
I've been meaning to call your show since last week, but because of the sensitive nature of the contribution that I want to make, I felt it was prudent that I seek legal advice to ensure that what I reveal here today does not cause any legal complications for neither you nor myself.
But I will will still have to intervene if I see that you're saying anything that is defamatory, caller, because the season that we're in, and threats have already been made.
I agree.
So, yes, go ahead, caller.
Okay, so my contribution is with regards to the lawsuit that was filed by the opposition leader Alan Chasney for the judicial review of the CIP infrastructure project. Now, I have in my possession the actual contracts that were signed between the government of St. Lucia and Caribbean Galaxy Real Estate, BMAX, and so forth. Now, for the purposes of the lawsuit, I'm only going to, I would like you to permit me to read certain salient parts of the contract. Of course, I cannot read the entire contract, but I would like to read certain parts because we have been asking for clarification on this for so long, and we've been given the runaround. And I took it upon myself as a concerned citizen to do some research. I consulted a lawyer and everything. So, do I have your permission to read those parts of the contract?
You'll have to tread cautiously. I'll tell you why. I don't even think you should read parts of the contents of the contract, because that matter is before the courts right now. And I suspect
yes, but as I was advised,
even as we speak today, the matter is being heard. So let's not preempt anything. Let's not say or do anything that would impact the outcome of that case. I mean, it's a very sensitive issue. And it's not an act of cowardice on my part, but I'm just trying to tread very, very cautiously on that issue. So maybe you can speak in general terms, but I don't think you should be reading directly what is in the contract. But maybe you could speak in general terms. I'm feeling like a speaker of the house there,
you see, Tim, it's been so confusing for so many people. A lot of St. Lucians don't understand why this even matters, right? A lot of St. Lucians will ask you, but how does this affect me? And when I read this contract, I am not a lawyer, Tim. I am a private citizen. And because I was hearing so much about it, I decided to do my research. And we've heard what the opposition leader has to say. And I listened to the tourism minister, Dr. Hilaire, and Minister for Investment, put his psychology degree to such good use on last week's pre-cabinet press briefing, right? Where he spoke about wanting to hurt the country and hurting the people. And so my curiosity was piqued.
But as I said, Caller, you can address the issue, but speak in general terms as opposed to focusing specifically on the details of the contract.
Okay. Tim, have you ever heard of any contract, whether government or private, where the vendor makes more than 100% profit?
I've never
heard it.
No.
Okay. But this is what this is a situation that we are dealing with. I know for supermarkets, the markup on goods is 30%, up to 30%, right? But we heard the Minister for Commerce talking about price gouging and all kinds of things. But when you have a foreign investor, well, it's not an investor, because if we are financing, and I call it financing because we are providing the goods that need to be sold, right? So in my mind, we are financing the project this way. Why are we allowing a foreign investor or a foreign vendor, I'll call them a vendor, to make 100% profit? Now, you really tie in my hands, Tim, but I understand why you want me to tread so carefully. But there are parts in that contract, and if you would like, I can send it to you for your perusal. There are parts of this contract that really do not sit well with me. For example, do you remember during Dr. Kenny Anthony's reign, we were very familiar with this term cost overrun?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at the time, I was pursuing a course in project management, and I remember my instructor, who was a foreign national, saying he he has been hearing all of this cost overrun, and he wants to know if the people describing these projects are using the term in its correct context. Because in order for a project to go into cost overrun, Tim, you have the project cost and you have the management reserve. The management reserve is usually 50% of the project cost. For example, if you have a project where a project that costs $100, the management reserve, which you can access if you go over the $100, is a further $50. So, and is when you have used up the project cost plus the management reserve, that is when you go into cost overrun. So basically it says that the project needs to go into, it needs to be more than 1.5 times the agreed cost. Now, for the purposes of my contribution, it says here that if a contractor that is contracted to undertake any part of the contracts for any project for the purpose of this contract goes exceeds the amounts, so goes into cost overrun, that we, the government, I have to be careful what I say. Okay, the government of St. Lucia has to compensate the vendor with additional
passports,
goods to be sold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be very general.
Yeah.
There's also a part in this project, in this contract, which says that how do I put it? Let's say buying in bulk. You're making me be very creative here, Tim. So let's say that
that's my job.
a customer comes in and they are buying in bulk, Tim, and they're buying more than 5 items. We all know what items I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to say anything to put myself in trouble. But this person is only liable to pay the application fee for no more than 5 items. So, for example, if this person is buying in bulk and they're seeking to buy maybe 12 items, Tim, we, the owners of the items that are being sold, will only be paid for 5 of those items. Now, the amount specified for 5 items only covers the cost of 2 items. I hope you are following.
Yeah, we're reading between the lines, yes.
Right. So we are making a loss. So when the person pays for 5, no more payments will come to us. No more application fee will come to us, but the vendor collects their full fee for every item. Now, Tim, when it comes to hurting the country, and I feel very violated. I shouldn't even say that. I shouldn't say that. Let me, because I don't want people to politicize the issue. I want people to look at this objectively so that they can see what is being done, right? There is also a part of this project, a part of this thing that says if the application fee changes via a regulation change or legislative change, that the government has to issue more goods to be sold to the vendor. Now, when I looked through the project, I am not, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but I sought legal advice because I wanted to understand what I was reading and I wanted to have a good grasp of it so I can speak about it. I have to question, under what circumstances did our representative sign this contract? Okay? Because when I look at this is highway robbery. This is highway robbery. You mean to tell me we could not have gotten more for our goods? We could not have gotten a better deal? Is it that the representative that we had negotiating the contract, is it that he did not have any confidence in the value of the goods he was trying to sell? Is it that one person was twisting his hand behind his back and he had a gun to his head? Are you following me, Tim? Because I cannot say too much.
Yeah.
You understand?
All right. I'm getting the point. No, Cole, I'm happy that you went through all that, all those troubles and challenges, to get that kind of information. Now, here's the dilemma that we face, and myself in particular. I don't have the document before me. And the other issue is, instead of people pillaring me, castigating me in the chat room, calling me biased and all kind of things, what they should be doing as citizens of this country, as electors, is to demand of those people who are in authority who are taking certain decisions on their behalf that there is full disclosure. Because specific questions have been posed to the authorities. They have been hedging, they have been reluctant, they have been uncooperative as far as providing answers to the people of the country. Not only when it comes to CIP, when it comes to GPH as well. But people want to look at me as this individual who should take the risk of not having the documents before me, but just go out on a limb and make all kind of claims, all kind of allegations. So I have to act in a very responsible manner. Somebody even says that I'm even behaving like the speaker, okay, which is not true. But I have to be extremely, extremely careful on this broadcast. From day one, I knew I had to be careful. Up until now, I know that I have to be very careful.
Tim, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, because there needs to be a modicum of self-preservation employed. But I actually have the contract open in front of me right now. And honestly, Tim, I believe that Dr. Ernest Hilaire is a very astute individual. I believe Dr. Hilaire can handle himself in almost every situation. I have to question the circumstances under which Dr. Hilaire signed this contract. You understand? I am not expecting that from him. When I read through this, when I ask questions, it is baffling, it is bewildering. It has raised even more questions for me than answers, and I was seeking clarity. You understand? I am reading through this. I just wish I could say what I had to, because I want people to understand this. But at the end of the contract, the signatories are Honorable Ernest Hilaire, Ying Jin, the director, and there's a witness for Caribbean Galaxy, but there's no witness for Dr. Hilaire. So I want to believe that one of these people had a gun to his head and the other person was twisting his arm. That is why Dr. Ernest Hilaire signed this contract. I want to believe that. I do not want to believe that we are paying a salary to someone who can allow himself to be duped in that way. This is my personal opinion. Okay? Now I understand the precaution taken, Tim, and there's another point I need to make. There's another point. Sorry, I forgot that. So none of these monies, as per the contract, are required to be held in escrow. In contrast, the contract, and this is a contract dated 12th of January. Can I say the date,
Yes,
Tim?
go ahead.
Okay. So this is a contract dated 12th of January 2024. In contrast, there is a contract dated, let me give you the date. Hold on, I have to open another document. Where is it? Okay, there is a contract with BMAX. I am searching for, I don't want to give the wrong date, but it's a different document. I'll get back to it. And that contract stipulates that the monies are to be held in escrow. Now, that one I have not read through it and understood it and consulted my legal professional, so I will not speak on it because I am not so well versed. But when it comes to Caribbean Galaxy, you know Caribbean Galaxy has been at the forefront of so many allegations that I had to really understand what we were dealing with. Tim, I support the leader of the opposition in getting a judicial review of these contracts. We need to understand the circumstances under which those contracts were signed. I refuse to believe that our passports are so inferior that we had to beg Caribbean Galaxy to sell them. I refuse to believe that we could not have gotten a better deal somewhere. I refuse to believe that it is common practice for vendors in any field to get 100% and even more. Now, I am saying 100% profit because I am adding the operational cost stipulated in the contract to the contract amount, to what we're supposed to be receiving. But by right, no businessman will agree to pay your operational costs when they give you a contract or they give you a project to complete. They will pay you for the work that is being done. Okay? But for the sake of argument, I am adding the contract management cost, and it still comes up to 100% profit. If we remove the contract, the operational cost or the contract management cost, we are getting 1/6 of the amount that Caribbean Galaxy is making on this project. And I refuse to believe that we could not have gotten a better deal somewhere else. And if I was the person negotiating that deal, personally, I would have walked away, Tim. Because this is outrageous. This is outrageous. And everybody listening to me knows that there is no way. And okay, so my lawyer said to me, well, this contract reads like a loan. Tim, have you ever heard of any bank asking you to deposit 6 times the amount that you want to borrow for them to borrow you what you want, the amount of money you want?
No, it's never so much. That's not standard practice.
Exactly. So this is a loan. Why are we required to pay back so much? So again, I would like to thank the leader of the opposition for requesting a judicial review, because not many of us St. Lucians can put our hand in our pocket and finance that kind of endeavor. I need answers. I need to understand what is going on. I need to understand what happened, because we need some clarity. Okay. Now, there are confidentiality clauses embedded in the contract. I guess that is why the minister refused to speak on it, which is agreeable. But don't tell me that's the best Dr. Hille could have done. I believe Dr. Hille is much more astute than that. I believe he's an educated gentleman. And I believe that Dr. Hille could have gotten us a better deal somewhere else, or even with that same vendor. Thank you very much,
Okay,
although you did not allow me to ventilate the way I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I got my point across.
You're sufficiently skillful. I didn't have to close your mic. Okay, so I allowed you to speak. But I really enjoyed this exchange. It's an eye opener, and I think what it should do is to give us as citizens the impetus to expect more from our leaders. People are making critical decisions on our behalf, and especially when reporters and journalists are asking questions, pointed questions, direct questions, that those people answer, because they're providing us with the information and we relate to the wider public. So that's very necessary.
Yes.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am.
Yes, it is.
All right.
You're welcome, Timothy.
Okay.
Anytime.
Right. Thank you so much. So, give the lady 21 minutes to speak on this particular issue. And I don't think that we were reckless or acted in any irresponsible manner. I want you to understand the dilemma that I'm in, okay? Because I don't have the document before me. It is not a document of the House. And also, I do not have the pleasure of, for example, having Dr. Ernest Hilaire on another telephone line so that he can counter, he can clarify, he can address. The other issue is, as we speak, the matter is before the courts today. So I have to tread cautiously. It is not out of cowardice. It's just not me being biased. It is me being extremely careful. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. More calls, more of your discussions, and of course we'll be going through some of the comments in the chat room in just a bit.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilac is transforming how you move. With our new electric vehicle charging stations, getting a quick and reliable charge is easier than ever. From Rodney Bay to Dennery, Vieux-Fort and Soufriere, we've got you covered. Our cutting-edge network offers both fast and standard charging options. Convenient, efficient, and always ready when you are. Just download the Flash Charge app from Google Play or the Apple App Store, and with a few simple taps, you can set up an account and link it to a credit card. Find a station or scan the QR code to start charging in seconds. Lucilac is powering your journey and driving us toward a cleaner, greener future. Charge ahead with Lucilac's EV stations. Lucilac electric vehicle chargers, powering progress, energizing the future.
Taco Thursdays at Senior Snapper from Thursday, 13th February 2025 and every Thursday.
St. Lucia, your Thursdays just got a whole lot better. After work, there's only one place to be. Taco Thursdays at Senor Snapper Seafood Grill and Margarita Bar.
In Cruzley Town, that is Marie-Therese Street.
Live DJ, fresh tacos, and island vibes. What more do you need? Tacos for just $10 plus 2-for-1 margaritas and mojitos to keep the good times flowing.
Thursdays is Taco Thursdays at Senor Snapper.
And you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Are you tired of going from doctor to doctor, spending time and money, yet still not getting the answers you need? Now, at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, we bring you the latest in medical technology, our state-of-the-art radiation-free full-body MRI. With unmatched accuracy, we can detect illnesses early, giving you the answers you deserve and the treatment you need, saving lives and saving money. No doctor referral needed. Results in just 24 to 48 hours. Plus, a free consultation with a doctor to explain all your results in detail. Don't wait. Take advantage of this special offer and book your full-body MRI at our Cocoville, Rodney Bay, or Castries locations. Call 451-6559 now. La Clinique du Corps. Your health is our priority.
Don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Boutte. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control, all so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
I've seen you here before, and I have something special just for you. What have we here? Happy housewarming to me? That's the MNC Home Depot Rewards Card. You'll earn points every time you shop, plus exclusive savings and promotions just for you. Yes, just for you. Shop in store or online and enjoy a seamless experience. So I get to treat myself every time I shop? Exactly. It's time to reward yourself.
MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Rewards Card. Sign up and reward yourself today at www.mnchomedepot.com.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin, and turn my attention now to Amanda and what's happening in the chat room.
Team, someone says there, well, according to what the caller said, we are starting to see why the members of our beloved party are avoiding questions, clearing things out and giving ridiculous answers such as the man is a big man, so go ask him. Another comment, it was worth giving the lady even an hour because I felt very elated to know that someone has an understanding of the contract that was signed. I feel good that my thoughts are not useless. Caller, I wished I knew you. I know who you were so we could have some constructive discussions, which is lacking in this country. Now the comment reads, St. Lucia's leadership leaves less or little to be desired. The government has been silent on important issues affecting citizens such as crime, violence against women, cost of living, road conditions, corruption, embezzlement, and poor health care. Our country needs better leadership. Someone says there are Lucians receiving their passports within the time frame they paid for it. If not, then why should we stop singing about that briefcase? Another comment, why is it so expensive and why were her submissions being dealt with so expeditiously? Keep up the pressure, caller. It is time that Virginia respects us. Another comment reads, caller, not all police have discretion. All they know is aggression. Someone says here, St. Lucia is not a safe place to live in anymore. Those in leadership seem to be so distant to what is happening in the country. We need new leadership. The comment reads, St. Lucians have to wake up and realize that we deserve much better than what the SLP is serving right now. They have no solutions and no vision. The country is sinking fast. Let's save our future. The comment reads, my friend, that's totally a different thing when it comes to a customer. A business will do whatever to keep their customers. But as a police officer, they need to pamper you when you break the law because you are taught to you are taught the do's and don'ts before you become a driver on the road. So discretion is if the police see your innocence but not to treat you as a customer. We're at a loss with every negotiation this administration makes.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We have a call on via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to Rick.
You know, I'm always talking about the chilling effect that silences people that you can't have in a democracy. But people who will not pay attention to the democratic rights and constitutional rights, they don't care until somebody's hand is in their throat. Here you have shall we call her, a concerned citizen goes through the trouble of having a lawyer explain an agreement, you can call it?
Yeah, a contract.
A contract involving the people of this country. And if I'm reading between the lines, it concerns a sale of passports.
Yeah.
Imagine the lady has to be so imaginative as to referring to our passports, the thing that makes us solution, and refer to it like bananas and shoe and all that stuff. Just can't say passports per chance. That is absurd. I want to say also that even you are pushed into the caution corner with such impact that you can't even serve the people as we expect you to serve us.
Okay, Rick, because on several fronts. One, I do not have a copy of the contract before me.
No. Listen what I said.
No, I listened, but I'm saying to you, I was not backed up in a corner because of anything out of cowardice or anything of that nature. I'm just saying it was the responsible thing to do. I do not have a copy of the contract in my hands so that I could read along and follow what she's saying. She also said, no, hold on, Rick. She also said that she got the services of an attorney. Now, I don't, in all due respect to the lady, I don't know if I can even give credence to the fact that she's saying she sought the intervention or guidance from an attorney. Right?
Tim, you know, our libel laws and slander laws may be archaic in some ways, but they're pretty good. We're pretty well protected, you know. When it comes to public matters, people are free to speculate and to speculate wrongly, just so long as they don't go out on a limb citing criminal motives or motives to the party. And as I think Diplock made the point, you know, that politics is not a prayer meeting. The people who go into politics know very well you've got to have a thin skin, and that citizens are not all lawyers or what, etc. Also, citizens don't all have the means to pursue things in court. But they're affected by what politicians do. They're affected in one way or another. We are all affected. One citizen is affected. We're all infected. Stupid precedents are set because we don't have the money to go to court. And the court and the politicians have everything at their disposal, paid for by the complaining taxpayer. So the laws are not so far. So Vincent Flosak, I think it was the night you won your award. And I've published his speech so many times. He said, if the media people would study the libel laws, they would see how far the laws go to protect journalists doing their work, you know. So this lady obviously is bending over backwards, fearful that a minister might sue her for expressing her concerns about a matter that demands concern. But the chilling effect, the fear that the minister may use taxpayers' money to put her in court, keeps her in check that she refers to her passport as a banana. I mean, even if a citizen were to call a station and misinterpret a contract dealing with our passports, you think there is a court in the world that would make her pay for that? Especially when those who are supposed to give us information that we understand, not just come and talk a lot of stuff we don't, the majority of people don't understand. The majority of people don't understand contracts. I am very careful about interpreting contracts myself because that's a specialty of lawyers. And by the way, I am reminded of last week's episode in the House. When Claudius was busy playing lawyer or sounding like a judge or whatever, you know who was sitting there like a dope, you know, saying nothing? You know who that was?
Former Prime Minister?
The Attorney General.
Oh, the Attorney General.
Who should have been the guy doing all what Claudius was doing there in the first place. The Attorney General who should be advising in the House. No?
That's his job?
He is as quiet as a doped up mouse. This matter, the way we run our country must change. I might not be around to see it, thankfully. But if this continues, this is going to be back to the bush. Citizens cannot be living in fear of their elected representatives. That is an egregious wrong. It is the duty of the elected representative to bend over backwards and explain what they're doing so that even a moron can get a decent understanding of what they're doing. Instead, they are threatening by innuendo and so on, threatening people to be silent and say nothing, the chilling effect. Worried if I say so and so and so, I might be put in court. And it's a hell of a thing going to court in any circumstance, but in particular this kind of circumstances. Because anybody going to, Alan Chasney deserves a medal. Anybody going to court naturally gets stressed out. Naturally is worried if he's going to win or lose. Naturally is worried if he loses, what does it do to him, his reputation, maybe he has to pay money. All because he's pursuing something in the public interest. In the public interest. The leader of the opposition must find his own money to battle things in court on behalf of the whatever thousands he represents as leader of the opposition. The government guy, I've said it so many times, gets lawyers offering things for nothing. Even if he's supposed to pay the lawyers, won't charge him because the lawyers are looking for handouts themselves, and nobody is on the take more than lawyers. Lawyers are, but when Shakespeare said, first we get rid of the lawyers, you know what he's talking about? Lawyers generally, that doesn't mean there aren't a few who would genuinely keep their oath. But lawyers generally are in the middle of every crookedness. Mario Michel, I once took him up on that when Mario Michel said he was not going to take any cases involving drugs. He wouldn't defend any drug people. I think you may remember that.
Yes.
Because I gave us a lot of publicity. And I figured it's his job to defend anyone. But he had decided for himself, don't come to me for any drug cases, right?
Yes.
But Kenny Anthony said in his book, I won't go into all that. Kenny said in his book that there were lawyers in our region who did not defend drug barons. They protected them. That they protected money launderers and the hitmen. There's a big difference between protected and defended. Even use clients' money to benefit self and crooked clients. Kenny Anthony wrote that he was in a position to know. And this has just gotten worse we had a thing only recently where a particular now Minister of Government said there was a time when he was the lawyer to go to when it came to defending drug barons. It was said publicly, so what I'm saying there is not new. It's not Richard Frederick said that on his program. There was a time, and he said how much money he made out of defending drug barons. And if other lawyers don't do it, you know at trebles and quadruples what you want to ask and get, is that?
Yeah.
He said he made so much money, he gave a bundle to Kenneth Foster and a bundle to Marcus. Both of them lawyers as well.
And both deceased.
Yeah?
And both of them deceased as well.
And coincidentally, both deceased and not in a position to help themselves. But the impression is left, an impression is left that's not nice, which may not be fair at all, but it was said. Huh?
Yeah. Amazing.
So, the people of St. Lucia, this is not political, This is your freedom. We have to stand up against the things that bother us in terms of how our governments treat us. I said the same when Alan Chastney was Prime Minister, that we have to hold the Prime Minister's feet to the fire. I said that. We have just given up our rights and everything to a bunch of guys who don't have any particular talents, who are never known for being the most honest people in the world, who don't have any kind of track record that you want your son or daughter to follow. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. There is no media, and such as there is, not media is undermined right there. So, St. Lucians, I might not be there, but you're going to pay a price. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. In the chat room, somebody says, "Oh my, this is unacceptable. Why are people not outside WASCO offices demanding their rights to water?" And we have a clip that we'll be playing to you in just a bit. Very creative, an exchange between a father and a son lamenting the absence or the lack of potable water. The broadcast will continue in just a moment with more of your calls, your discussions, and of course the comments in the chat room. Amanda will be providing us with a final update.
Bravo on High Street in Castries is having a massive clearance sale. Prices have been slashed by so much, it's ridiculous. We're talking 30 to 60% off on electrical and plumbing from now until stocks last. Yes, that means you. Whether it's a do-it-yourself fixer-upper or a full household project, come in and save big with Bravo. There's never been a better time to come down to Bravo for savings on electrical and plumbing. See you there. Sale on until stocks last. We're located next to the courthouse and electoral office.
Lucilac is transforming how you move. With our new electric vehicle charging stations, getting a quick and reliable charge is easier than ever. From Rodney Bay to Dennery, Vieux-Fort and Soufriere, we've got you covered. Our cutting-edge network offers both fast and standard charging options. Convenient, efficient, and always ready when you are. Just download the Flash Charge app from Google Play or the Apple App Store, and with a few simple taps, you can set up an account and link it to a credit card. Find a station or scan the QR code to start charging in seconds. Lucilac is powering your journey and driving us toward a cleaner, greener future. Charge ahead with Lucilac's EV stations. Lucilac electric vehicle chargers, powering progress, energizing the future.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
Craving some irresistible KFC chicken? KFC Wow Box has got you covered. For only $22, you get 1 piece of juicy chicken, 1 delicious sandwich, and a side of crispy regular fries. This offer is available at all KFC stores island-wide, and now with both dine-in and delivery options available, you can enjoy your meal however you want. Come into the store and enjoy the KFC experience or have it delivered to your doorstep. Don't wait, order now through WhatsApp at 484-0400 or visit our website, kfcstlucia.com. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Get your KFC Wow Box today, whether it's dine-in or delivery.
Are you tired of going from doctor to doctor, spending time and money, yet still not getting the answers you need? Now, at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, we bring you the latest in medical technology, our state-of-the-art radiation-free full-body MRI. With unmatched accuracy, we can detect illnesses early, giving you the answers you deserve and the treatment you need, saving lives and saving money. No doctor referral needed. Results in just 24 to 48 hours. Plus, a free consultation with a doctor to explain all your results in detail. Don't wait. Take advantage of this special offer and book your full body MRI at our Cocoville, Rodney Bay, or Castries locations. Call 451-6559 now. La Clinique du Corps. Your health is our priority.
Watch this view here. If you missed it, yeah, itchy nose.
The St. Lucia National Cricket Association Prime Minister's Cup is back. It's going down at 4 venues: PI, Philip Masler Grounds, Groseley, and Mindu Philip Park. Games will be played both day and night. Will the champions Groseley defend their title, or will we see a newly crowned champion this year? Teams taking part: last year's champion Groseley, runners-up Central Castries, South Castries, Babano, Monrepo, Mikud, Soufre, Viewfort North, Viewfort South, Denry, Choiseul, Babia Valley, and Deriso. This tournament bowls off on February 18th with defending champions Groseley coming up against Babano at 7 p.m. on the Groseley playing field. Games will be played from 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. Come out and support your favorite team. It's the St. Lucia National Cricket Association Prime Minister's Cup coming to a venue near you. Who's gonna emerge champions this year?
It's the Tile Thursday specials. The sale you've been waiting for is finally here, happening this Thursday at the Tile Gallery. Whether you're renovating your kitchen, bathroom, or updating your entire home, don't miss out on the chance to save big on high-quality tiles that will elevate any space. Mark your calendars for Tile Thursday specials, the last Thursday of every month. You can save up to 50% off on selected tiles. Located at M&C Home Depot in Sunville. Hurry in! These amazing deals are in-store only, and supplies are limited, so be sure to grab yours while you can. Remember, Tile Thursday only happens once a month, so don't miss out. Visit the Tile Gallery this Thursday. See in-store for details.
Daddy.
Yes, son?
What is that metal long thing on the sink?
What metal long thing?
Look, that.
Well, son, that's a faucet.
What does it do?
Many years ago, water used to come out of that.
So what happened?
Well, son, I really don't know, but there are many fairy tales that a particular water company tells us, and I don't know if to believe them or not.
Ooh.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we have to harvest water, like they said, and try to conserve the water that we don't have. But we must be strong, yes?
One day I hope to see water come out of it.
Quite creative, an exchange between a son and a dad, Ted Sandiford and his son. Ted, of course, is a well-known animator and media artist. Just before we went to the commercial break, I read your comment in the chat room where somebody said, "Oh my, This is unacceptable. Why are people not outside Wasco offices demanding their rights to water? Some people have been without this precious commodity for at least a month and maybe more. Fortunately, I got some water from Wasco yesterday via the truck, which was passing through my community. Got to fill my tank, and I have to say I'm very grateful, but not everyone is so fortunate. A number of people have been getting water via the Wasco trucks. But there's need to find a long-lasting solution to that particular problem. We just cannot continue to put the consumers through that kind of challenge, you know. It's happening it's happening too often, and definitely we have to attend to it. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon.
Tim, how are you doing, Tim?
Okay.
Yes, Tim. I agree with everything Rick Wayne said and the past caller, but particularly Rick Wayne. And today I will stand up for my passport and my right as a citizen of my country and demand that the entire cabinet resign. Call an election, Tim, because $3.4 billion is gone missing. There was a case in America, a RICO case. I don't know what is happening with it now. But between that time and now, you will have those guys are so disrespectful. They will not even come. Ernest Hilaire will not even come on national television, whether it's on your show, to explain what has happened to that over $4 billion. That could have saved us 3 years of war.
Caller, we just making quoting those numbers, those figures, sir. I think the responsible the responsible thing we ought to do is to demand clarification from the authorities, whether it's the Director of Finance, whether it is the Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister of the country, the Minister with responsibility for CIP. But you just say
But Tim, that's
$4 billion
the
has
guys
gone.
are disrespecting us. They are not coming out there and tell us what is going on. So right now, I do not want to know what is going on anymore. I believe the entire cabinet should resign. Continue with the court case, Alan Shaston. I thank you very much because that was something I was calling for very long time ago. But we need an early election. We are ready. The country is fed up. Everything is bad. Everything has collapsed. All ministries has collapsed. People are dying. The hospitals doesn't have nothing. Call the election, please. We need change in our country. Thank you, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. Talking about calling the elections, yesterday, the MP for Chazelle Saltibus, Bradley Felix, he also addressed the United Workers' Party convention, and he has urged the supporters of the party to be vigilant.
We must all ensure that we are vigilant, that our machinery is working, that we have our eyes open. Because I'll tell you something, brothers and sisters. Brother Guy Joseph said it a few days ago. He said in his constituency, only up the Mon, 350 names were added on the list, and these people don't live anywhere in that area. And I proved it to myself only this week. A young lady, not a young lady, a senior citizen gave me her ID card. A senior citizen gave me her ID card, and her ID card says she's from Pi in Chazelle, but she's not seeing her name. She asked me to please look into it. When I looked into it, brothers and sisters, she was registered to vote at Latok. Make sure you check that your name is on the list where it is supposed to be. Brothers and sisters, this is serious business.
MP for Chazelle Saltibus, Mr. Bradley Felix. Let's get an update from Amanda. What's happening in the chat room?
A few comments from earlier. Someone says, while she didn't use the exact name of the goods or service, I understood what she was saying. This contract in its entity paves the way for the fraud we all are seeing going on in CIP. That's why there are so many confidential clauses. Another comment, caller, it is because of the silence of the people. These things are happening in St. Lucia, and there's no answers to the wrongs that are going on. Now the comment reads, caller, I rate your bravery to be able to come out and speak on the issue of CIP. I too have read the contract, and as someone who understands project management, I can tell you if this was being presented in Barbados, the whole country would have been in chaos. Caller, I am in disbelief that this contract was signed by one of our so bright first-class honors, notwithstanding sometimes, especially in those times, one could cram a book, regurgitate, and get first-class honors. I am in agreement that the leader of the opposition has an understanding of this whole CIP saga, and he seems to be relentless. However, this bread and butter issue seemingly may prevail. Another comment, the leader of the opposition is demonstrating true leadership, seeking and demanding answers and accountability on behalf of its citizens. Bravo to you, Shas. Someone says here, our Prime Minister has put himself in place of the massive tree that was next to the cathedral. So don't ask him any questions because massive. Another comment reads, so what does that say about our freedom of speech currently? Someone says here, the government doesn't have the passports and they do not have jobs. So what does St. Lucians have? Nothing, just more suffering. And then a commentary in the chat room reads, well, we all know that the justice system in St. Lucia and our lawmakers, including the RSLPF, has gone political. So now we have to walk on thin line, fearing that outcome of our so-called freedom of speech.
Thank you so much for that update, Amanda. Let me turn my attention now to our question of the day. It reads, how are you coping with the water shortages? How are you coping with the water shortages? Our NewsSpin question of the day. Let's take a final call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello. Hello. Okay, we lost that call. Let's see if we get another call. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. In the meantime, let me go through our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, U.S. warns Maduro of consequences following incursion of Venezuelan warship into Ghana. U.S. warns Maduro of consequences following incursion of Venezuelan warship into Guyana. That was our NewsSpin news of the day. Our final call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello. Let's try the WhatsApp again.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
This is Dominic Fede.
Yes, Mr. Fede. Yeah, good afternoon to you.
I feel very, very, very prompted to call you because of your challenge to the last caller who mentioned to you that billions are missing. Tim, I'm going to make available to you, if you already don't have, the 2 contracts from Ghana for CIP developments. Now, in one instance, Tim, Galaxy signed an agreement with the government of St. Lucia. And what happened, Tim, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. And so in one instance, they signed a contract with the government. That same contract, which was signed by there was a previous contract signed by the cabinet of which I was a member. And in that contract, we had said that we would allow Galaxy to sell 700 passports, amounting to 60% of the project, which is $210 million. And Galaxy had to go to raise another $90 million via traditional financing from a lending institution. Now, we lost the election. The St. Lucia Labour Party government came in, and they said 2 things. One, they said that Galaxy, because of the inflation crisis, that the project cost had increased from 300 million to 400 million. Now let's go along with that. So now the SLP says the new project costs 400 million. However, Tim, in the contract they signed with Galaxy, it indicated that Galaxy can sell up to $1 billion in passports. So the difference between 400 million and 1 billion is 600 million US. You convert that into EC dollars and you will see how many, how much profit that is. Now, let's go to the real estate, the infrastructure contract signed by Galaxy. So that was the first contract. 600 million in profits on a 400 million supposedly investment. Who does that, Timothy? That's outrageous. It has to be the worst example of public administration I've ever seen, not just in St. Lucia, but anywhere in the Caribbean. In the infrastructure contract now, which is to build roads and so on, the government signed this second contract with Galaxy to say that while Galaxy will only be required to pay the government $100 million US. Are you with me, Tim?
Yes, I'm following you.
The government gave Galaxy enough passports to sell up to $600 million in sales. Now, again, a 600% return on your investment? Where in the world does that happen? I mean, there's no stock on the US stock exchange that allows investors to get a 600% return. I mean, this is a giveaway, Tim. These guys have given away the country. The caller is exactly right. In addition to Galaxy, there is also BMAX, where the government claimed that a house in a Rock Hall will cost over $1 million EC dollars. I mean, a house in a Rock Hall. The government claimed that it was over $1 million EC. I want you to think of that. So what we have seen is an outright prostitution. The government has been whoring with the CIP project. So Tim, I'm going to make those contracts available to you as soon as I get off the call. And I would really like you to go more in detail to enlighten members of the public. This is not speculation. These are all facts, right? When Hilaire was saying that he had to ask Galaxy for permission to share the information with them, Hilaire was taking all of us for a ride. Hilaire was hiding the blatant truth that he didn't want us to see. And this is, he has really sold out St. Lucia. He has sold out the people. And the question must be asked, Tim, how much was the minister paid, if any, for that kind of outrageous decision made? I could never understand how ministers could sit around a cabinet and make that kind of decision. This is shameful and disgraceful. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Just heard there from Deputy Political Leader of the Opposition UWP, Mr. Dominic Fede. Drawing the curtains on our broadcast for today. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Please join us same time tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. Goodbye.